Okay, hi, good evening. Once again, I know I've said this 3 times for you guys. My name is Christine Santisteban. I'm from the law offices of Siegfried Rivera, and we're here this evening for the budget meeting, a combined meeting of the board and the members for the budget meeting, for the budget commencing on July 1st, 2022. It is 7:14 p.m. and we're calling the meeting to order. We do have a quorum of the board as I have 5 members present in person. There's nobody, the 6th member isn't.
Is Liz still there?
Yes, she must be in this room, no? No?
Okay.
Anyway, we have called.
Yes, we do have quorum of the board. Quorum of the membership would be 145 people, either in person or by proxy. I received a total of 156 proxies. And then I have Mr. Warren who appeared in person here. So we have 157 people in person or by proxy. So we did meet the quorum threshold for membership. So we can have both the board meeting and the membership meeting.
Hey, it's coming another one.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Every year.
I have the,
I told you.
okay, so for purposes of the proof of notice, it was properly noticed and sent to all the membership.
On May 31st.
Okay.
I terrified, yes.
Let me just validate this last one and I will let you guys know what the vote is for the membership vote on waiving the reserves. Tower 1 and Tower 2.
What was the apartment?
I have, it's Tower 2. So is this Tower 1's binder?
It should say on the,
Tower 1.
you need to.
Yes.
I'll snooze, you lose. It would have been ended right.
What's the name?
2320. Yes.
No. No, you never work for the paying it's separate voting.
Voting for this, it's going to be. So,
I understand. 51,
it's 51.
no.
Okay, so with that last ballot that we had.
Gentlemen, what's the little meeting? Let the Lord work out.
So the next item on the agenda is a vote by the members on partially waiving the statutory budget reserves for the fiscal year commencing on July 1st, 2022. We received 157 votes, either by proxy or in-person ballots. I have 155 votes yes to partially waive reserves and to fully fund reserves. So for this year, you will be partially waiving your reserves and your budget amounts will be, what are the,
75,000.
okay.
Madam Chairperson, Christina Esquire, how do you prefer to be addressed?
however you'd like. So
Madam Chairperson, yeah.
that was what the budget was for reserves, and we haven't passed the budget yet for you guys to go on. So
That's,
I think that's where you're going with your question.
yes, please, you are on the penny.
Okay, so the membership has approved to partially waive reserves and it will be partially funded reserves this year. The next item on the agenda is consideration and vote on the adoption of the board by the board of directors, including the partial waiver of reserves as approved by the membership. So
How are you doing?
At this point, I can actually ask thank you. Thank you, Christine. Mr. President, Ronald?
Yes.
Yes. Who prepared the budget?
Who prepared the budget?
Yes.
Good question. I think that the budget is prepared under the supervision of the president, the treasurer, and the ALMA, the management and accounting. That's which is the main proposal of this.
Okay, well, the main purpose of actually asking you that question is, because I'm a member of the board of directors and I was never involved in the process. And going back to.
Sorry, wait a second, 1 point, you was not involved.
Okay, going back
Did
to.
you have, wait a second,
Okay.
Let's go in one by one. Udi, did you have the mail that we sent to everybody in the board? Yes, well, did you have a copy? Okay, can you provide a copy? I want to give it a copy when everybody received the same copy. Mr. Warren was including over there? That's it. So the answer is, what's involved? I don't see you, nothing, any comment inside. Outside, I know that you make a lot of comments of transparency or a lot of the, but inside, as I know, I didn't receive any, and as a personal title or like a president. I don't know if somebody of the board, Mariano, did you receive something?
No.
Danny, you received something?
No, I thought good, but I didn't receive.
Perfect. Yeah,
So-
Manuel?
Mr. President, you're actually being misleading in how you're representing what you presented. The budget preparation at Delvista Towers typically happens in a workshop process. Let's call it the process in which we put the sausage together. What was presented to the board of directors was actually the post product after the budget was already prepared. Is that not what was presented to the board of directors, Mr. Manor? Was it yes or no?
The final.
No. So, it was not final.
I didn't
The board of directors.
Finish.
Because for sure, we can, everybody can become bullshit and we can stay here all night and I have a time.
The email that was sent to all board members had the draft that we all worked on prior to being sent to production to have comments by board members.
2 days ahead.
I believe it was either 2 days or a day before.
Okay, just to be clear, did I get the draft, the same draft, a day before? So
You did what you were in
Wednesday,
out of the country.
we jumped on the call, Raul jumped on the call, I provided some comments, some things went through, some things didn't go through. So I want to ask a question to Louise that she's benefiting us being here, and she has been treasurer for the association many years. What's the typical standard procedure in the association?
Before you get caught up in this, is there any relevance to this?
Well,
I mean, we're here to approve a budget.
No, no,
What's the
well,
relevance, Paul?
the relevance is that he's spreading lies, and I am sick of
Mariano,
this.
forget about that. The relevance here is that this was scheduled for, number one, to vote on partial reserves and approve or disapprove the budget. You have a vote. This is not a debating society on the process.
Okay.
If the president has already said that the budget was circulated in draft form, people gave input, that's it. Let's vote on it already. I've been here already for nearly 40 minutes.
Okay,
And I'm not being disrespectful, I'm just saying, for God's sakes, we could start talking about the history of the world right now.
I agree.
okay, I'm
I
not.
agree with you.
No,
I
no,
didn't
no,
open the
no, no,
conversation.
no.
Okay, Paul, let's just go for a
Al.
vote. You can vote it down or you can vote it for.
Al, let me make a very short, quick statement for historical reasons. As far as I know, and as long as I know, which is approximately 15 years, the initial budget is put together by the president, the manager, the treasurer, and the accounting firm. And then the draft is sent out to the board for comments, etc. If nothing comes back, they proceed. That's the only procedure I've.
So let's get going and stick to
Okay,
the objective.
so-
Let's get
I
around the
agree.
ball here.
So,
I agree.
so we can proceed with the point that you listed there, Judge, and we want to acknowledge all of our members out there. The point of the matter is that all directors' input needs to be involved in the process because we are, as you represent members of the association, we need to be able to articulate what's in the numbers. As we can see here, we have a director sitting beside, excuse me, Danny, that you're actually asking several questions that you don't understand.
Okay,
And
that's,
which is
Yeah,
what the
you can
workshop
ask
does.
too.
You can
But
ask
once the
any-
budget has been disseminated, this is not a
But
timely
that,
objection.
but this is germane.
Paul, I love you, you're
use
my
for
neighbor,
it
but
to-
let's
for it
get
to be
on with
seen.
business. Objection should have been put out on the budget. We all got the budget. I got the budget. Let's vote it up or down, and you may have your reasons and you can articulate it, but the bottom line is, this will never end.
1, 2,
I
3, 4,
I want to make,
5, 6, 7, 8 people in attendance.
So, Mr. President, you're welcome to go ahead and proceed with the meeting, but this is not what the association document stipulates. It says the board of directors.
Board of Directors received the draft. Some of us.
How many yeah and how
worked
many
on
no?
that, some of us
We're past. for the
presenting
membership vote?
comments,
Yeah.
some of
Oh,
us
that passed already.
shut their mouth and
So,
then spread
we're on
lies
the
about
board
the
now.
lack of
President,
transparency.
Mariano, let's not enter into petty.
Yeah,
stuff.
no, you know, it's very.
No, the attorney has already stated,
Very-
we're beyond this
Yeah.
right now. We have partial reserves, let's go up or down the budget. And I
We need to
understand your
have a
frustration,
motion.
but this is not the
And
moment.
we need to have, Mr. Mayor, we need to have it.
You can calm down.
Sorry. We need to have a space where respectfully we can talk to each other and we don't have any issues with that. Explain why the numbers are the numbers, is our rationale behind, what we're going to do when come 2024 with the full reserves, what's the strategy, if we have a strategy. It should be like that. It shouldn't be.
I get you. But you know, we'll waste a lot of time by getting into petty little discussion. You comply with the
I
due
agree.
process requirements, the budget was put out, we're not in violation of any rules or regulations of Florida law. Let's vote on the budget, gentlemen and ladies. I mean, we have an attorney here that we're paying, as much as I like her, she is unnecessarily being kept here. Let's not deviate.
I'm
Keep
agree,
on.
listen, Mr. Judge, I'm agree with you, not 100%, 1000%, but you know, inside is something not nice. To all the time is the same. You come here to do a job, not to make all the objections to another people that wants to do the job. That's the problem.
Mr.
And
President,
of course,
respectfully, Mr. President, that's an internal matter. You should call for a special meeting to address those considerations. But here, when we have people on Zoom and we have people present here,
perfect.
I mean, I didn't, yes.
I agree with you.
This is-
let's vote
this
on
is-
it. Yay, or
change.
nay. It's that simple.
I need a motion first on the table to adopt the proposed budget with partially funded reserves for the fiscal year commencing on July
You
1st.
divide it into two or one shot, both of them?
It's a one.
One
shot
shot.
vote.
Okay, I'm against the partial.
Okay, but you already lost. That's done.
That are,
Okay,
Judge,
let them
let me-
explain to.
the vote on partially funding the reserves already took place. That was a membership vote.
Okay,
And that
I
already
got you, I
passed.
understand.
So
So
the-
now I'm
the- now
voting.
the motion that I would need to come forward would be a
Okay.
motion to adopt the proposed budget with partially funded
I got
reserves
you, I understand.
commencing on July 1st, 2022.
I understand.
So can we first do a motion to open discussion, to receive any questions, to do
So
any
the way it works-
clarification?
The way it would work
do it
is,
after.
I need a motion, I need a second, and then it can be open for discussion.
Right.
Okay.
So I will, that's it, we make a motion
Okay.
to approve the partial.
Okay, I would like to make a motion to approve the budget that's been presented to us, with partial results.
Perfect.
I second.
Me, of course, I second.
We're gonna-
Okay,
Now-
second.
now-
I second. That's
Now
it.
we like to open the
Mariano, I
floor.
had you motion, Daniel
Danny
had you second.
seconded.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now we all want to open the floor if somebody have any questions.
No, they need to vote.
All in favor?
No,
No, not
No.
yet, discussion and then a final vote.
correct.
Okay.
So I have a motion, I have a second. Now the floor is open for discussion amongst the board of directors and the membership if they'd like.
Perfect.
Go ahead, see what you want to do.
Is there any discussion that would like to be
Well,
had?
I would actually, believe that the discussion that I've actually gotten, a few questions on residents in terms of the preparation of the budget. For example, Mr. President, what is social, activities on the
Where you
budget?
got social activities?
Social activity.
And how did this get on the budget?
I can answer. There's a line,
Social activity supply,
yes,
That's for water aerobics in the pool.
that's, this is a barbecue,
yeah,
This is,
we have some expenses with the barbecue, which is the coal, the coffee and,
Guard.
yeah.
we have
Some
a
supplies,
ping pong table.
and that was, no, but that was going to the office.
Christmas.
Or the holidays.
Holidays, Christmas, Hanukkah.
And, that was going to the office supplies,
Mhm.
and we decided to split it. And also, I believe we increased a couple of thousands to hopefully have more activities
Mhm.
and
to offset
open some
increases.
committees. So I believe we add a couple of thousands to the actual cost of the
Right.
whole
Uh-huh.
coal.
So that $3,000, that's for cold and,
Yes.
And
And
barbecue.
plus surplus to add any other.
in addition to the line item we have for natural gas?
Yes, because
Not
natural
natural
gas
gas.
is to heat the water. You should not
That's
have
for the
water.
pool.
Years ago, there used to be a meeting where all the people used to ask questions.
Oh,
I remember one year.
It's open.
They
It's an
they
open
voted
meeting.
down to the sign in the front.
We've got 3 people here and 3 guests there, that makes a
It's an
total of
open meeting.
6.
My apologies, there's a resident
People
has a
are
question.
generally
also.
happy.
Yes.
Okay, go
Wait,
ahead.
Beth,
And
go
then-
ahead, please.
Except for the fact that there's a-
Go ahead, Beth.
Are you talking?
Yes,
Jules, raise your hand.
Yeah, my name is Beth Kramer. My questions are just when I was reviewing the proposed budget and all that kind of stuff, I saw some ways that you can maybe want to save money. One of them is with the paper, as far as printing and reproduction. If you send it to everybody that, via email, like an email blast, you'll save paper that way, because I think there were a couple of mishaps with wasting a lot of paper last time. I thought that might be a good idea. Just saying.
Beth, Beth, can I interject and answer your question with regard to email correspondence and notices?
Yeah, notices, correspondence, meetings, everything,
So
because we can save paper that way. That's what we have a computer for.
pursuant to Florida statute 718, if you'd like to receive your notices via email rather than by US mail, you'd have to consent and authorize the board to send you all your correspondence via email. If that's something that the membership would be interested in, I'm sure that Udi can have a form prepared for you guys in regard to that.
Actually, you know what, let me interject right here. We passed that 3 years ago.
For voting.
That's
Ah,
That's for
yeah,
electronic
for
voting.
information.
Florida statute requires that if you want to receive all your notices
Okay.
via email, you have to actually consent via form to receive those correspondence notices via email. So thank you for the suggestion. If that's something the board, the membership would like to do, I suggest they contact the management office to opt into that.
Right. It's not just me in particular, I'm saying for everybody, because you can save money instead of wasting paper, that's all.
Not to worry about.
No, I also support
Thank you
the
for the
initiative.
suggestion.
Two more things I want to say.
We need to work on that.
One is the window washing contract. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, since I've been working just, part-time and I've been here at home a lot, especially because of COVID and all that kind of stuff. I've never seen them come to wash my windows ever. Okay, so I don't know what's going on with that. And then the second thing is the shutter maintenance. I was told when I went to the office that I take care of the shutters, or via email. I can't even remember. But the point is what's the shutter maintenance? Why are we? What does that constitute? Describe what shutter maintenance means?
Hi Beth, it's Udi.
Hi.
Shutter maintenance is basically the lubrication that we do once a year when we do the window washing that you didn't happen to see.
Okay, well, I haven't had either ever. Okay, not in a long time.
We have a budget for shutter maintenance.
Myself.
We think the shutters on.
We have a
I
really like to see from the manufacturer of this shutter, the manual for maintenance. I
Yeah,
really want to see.
and then just one more
I
thing.
really want to see what kind of maintenance these shutters have to get.
The ATM machine, do we really?
WD-40 is no good, make it worse.
I know.
She has one more question.
Do we really need the ATM machine? Number one, it's a setup for someone to try and break in and take it. Number two, what do we need it for? Well, we can do everything on our phone. And why do we need it?
But can we go one by one? So the windows cleaning, it's once a year.
Right.
I know that, but I'm just trying to tell you that I have never seen them do my windows when they were supposed to.
I will promise you that the next time I will call you personal to see that
What's your name?
once in a year, but it's very fast, they go in, they clean.
No, I've seen it. They've never done my windows. I'm telling you.
Okay, this year you will see, I promise you myself that you will see. At the time that they will clean yours and mine, I will call you, or me or Rudy, you are in charge to call this beautiful lady.
Call me too.
Thanks.
And
They
call
clean
also Danny también
They
tiene
clean
que
it, it's not very good, they clean it. So in the shutter maintenance, just to address the second part of your question, of your second question. This year we had 5,000, which is typically what it costs, but we skip it. We didn't do it because it makes no sense just to pay $5,000 to put WD-40 in the window. So what I believe it was your initiative, Danny. We are putting 10,000 now in order to do a more professional piece of work.
And
So they're gonna do
We
both?
didn't do it before in this way. We are aiming to do it differently. This is,
Okay. So that
you
means
have another
the
question
windows
about,
and the shutters?
sorry?
Does it include both? The window and the shutter?
No, the 10 is only for the shutters.
No,
$10,000
that's for the
shutters.
shutters.
The 10,000 is for the
It's a lot
shutter.
of shutters. And the ATM, what's your question about the ATM? That doesn't cost us a penny. It gives you some earnings.
It's $600 I see here, but that's an extra $600 you could use for something else. That's all I'm saying.
That's income.
It's income.
It's income.
We
It's
are
not-
being paid for the usage of the.
They're paying a fee, $50 a month.
Mm,
It's income, it's not expense.
It's a service that says Mr. Warren, this is part of the service, the social service. If somebody comes one in the night and they have no money, they have over there the money.
But it doesn't cost us a penny. It's the opposite.
Nothing.
Okay.
If people use it, we earn money.
Did you ever think of maybe getting a fobs instead of the keys? Because with a fob, you can detect who comes in and out of the building?
Yeah, we're thinking about it. And we're going to take a look of it in the 40-year inspection. How we do
okay.
it. Since we have the wiring for the camera, I did the same objection when they did the cameras, why we didn't put the fob, nobody was really want to listen to me. I'm with you about it, yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Do you
I'd
mind
be
if
more
we
than
go
willing
the
to help.
next person?
Margarita has another question. Go
That's it.
ahead, on mute and go ahead.
I'm
Thank
done.
you.
Thank you.
Question.
Thank you for the questions.
Thank
And we are in deuda. ¿Cómo se dice en deuda? ¿Cómo?
We owe you.
We owe you the respect of the shutters.
Yes, please. I clean them myself.
She said on the chat, what is natural gas for 47,000 is used for?
It's,
For the hot water,
For the hot.
yeah, the boiler
the
uses
hot water,
natural gas.
yeah.
To have 365 days plus 1 day, one año bisiesto, to have
Hot
very
water.
hot water.
And I will add that with reference to the gas, we're locked for the next 4 years with Mirabito on a rate that will not be increased, as opposed to other properties that saw increases of anywhere from 5 to 17% in gas.
Bueno, tú lo dijiste.
Okay, so a significant percentage of the budget goes towards, well, the proposal for the reserves. Prior to the meeting, I think I overheard, and I wanted to actually ask these questions while the meetings are going on, so that we can all benefit from getting clarity. Were you saying that part of the reason why we have it's a $2 million gap was because we were funding, or what was your?
The 2 million is what your reserve funding would be with the full reserves, okay? Full reserves, you guys used your reserve study to determine what the replacement cost would be and what the remaining life would be. And based on the formula we get from statute, that's how we determine how much you should be funding. It's basically just taking the replacement cost minus any money you have already accumulated for that line item, divided by the remaining life, and that's how you get to your full funding amount, which for you guys is about 2 million, okay? The board gives the membership the option to partially fund. They went with 375, which is what they've historically funded for the partial funding. So those are the options. The board can give the membership that option. They don't have to give them the option. They could just fully fund. And we'll see what happens in 2024, but.
So what you were saying that what we have, the reserves amount that we have accumulated are based on the formula of the partial funding.
It's the partial funding,
That's the partial
basically, yeah.
funding process.
So you,
Thank you.
all I can tell you guys, the next 10 years, we need about $10 million.
Let's first be alive 10 years and then we see.
It's $1 million.
Right or no?
Is there any other questions?
I do, Mariano.
Waiting the.
No more,
It's
no.
not. Okay, go ahead.
So I was looking on the cost in terms of payroll costs. And in reviewing the association and documents, there are a couple of discrepancies I found in terms of how we could actually have some additional savings in terms of what we have here. As you're aware, we have this week there is a irregularity with an employee who actually abused the vacation pay process, and some monies were taken, approximately $9,000.
5,000.
Close to 9,000.
It was gross, 9 plus.
What steps are we taking to reclaw such losses for the association for collection? Is this in collections?
No.
But this is not in the agenda.
Well, it is in the agenda because
It's
it's on
not
the
in
payroll.
the, it's
It
not
is,
in the
it is.
agenda. If we have
It is
something
in-
like this,
It is in Paul's.
hold on 1 second. If we have something with employee, this is just to be in a closed board
No,
meeting.
no, no. If it's a specific employee matter, or we're referring to a general employee.
Well, this is not,
This is not,
wait a
so
second.
This is
not
in reference, no, no, no.
no,
This
yes,
is in
yes.
reference, this is in reference to the we have payroll costs here of approximately of what's being proposed here, right? So this question is germane in terms of how we manage the expenses that we have. If we're not managing the expenses in terms of that we have, then we have a problem. So it is germane, and and in addition to that, I've actually discovered other issues in which we have checks were written on the association account, signed by one person and by our unauthorized. Let me finish, please. And unauthorized persons. These checks are being written on the association's expenses. These are monies that we have. If we don't manage what we have wisely, it doesn't matter how much we fund it. It's like putting money into a sieve. And that's part of the reasons why these questions are germane in terms of basic responses as to acknowledge yes or no, are steps being taken to mitigate losses. That's all.
Well, I would like to answer at least a couple of things that you indicated. So you brought up something related to an employee which happened over about a year and a half ago, which the board correctly stated that that can be discussed in a closed door board meeting. The other thing that you indicated also happened during a time with a board or board members that wrote a check, which also is not part of this board and has nothing to do with the budget we're discussing today. Not to take away from the importance or the validity of what you're talking about, which you've asked records.
So the reason why it is germane, because the questions that I've asked to the custodian, to the treasurer, is what steps have been taken to remove the unauthorized signers? And as you are aware, you cannot remove something that's unauthorized. Let me finish, please.
All of them were removed.
Let me finish.
Mhm.
I've submitted several requests asking what steps were taken to remove the persons or person who are signing by themselves. For some of the checks were payroll, some of the checks are for miscellaneous items. Right? That is a part of the budget that has been expended and going forward. And we have to give things time.
Oh, 1 minute,
So-
1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute.
Yes,
We have
sir.
2 minutes.
Yes, sir.
Please, one last thing, and I'm done with this. There was a whole process involving 4 board members here who went from one bank to another to update all the signature cards, and all
I'm aware.
accounts are verified. Well, if you're aware, then you're asking what. steps were taken.
Because the question I asked,
No,
Going
he
back-
knows which
the question I asked, let me finish. The question I asked in reference to the payroll, in reference to these expenses, in reference- the question I asked in reference to these payroll, these checks that were written for an extended period and going forward, where you said that the signature cards were all updated, which I believe is great, it's good.
So why?
However,
What's your
However-
question?
however-
What's your question?
the question I asked the treasurer, how do we
The
know?
question is why you are not involved, that's the
How do
question.
we know that the person or persons who are signing these unauthorized checks are not with who is that person? And without revealing that information, you can't remove what is not known. Is it an employee that was here or is here?
Excuse me,
or
Paul,
a board member?
every bank that we updated the signature card gave me a list of all the current signature rights on their account, which included only the 4 people that are sitting here.
So then I need to respond as to who was the person that wrote those checks, because I've been
Which,
requesting.
what check, what check?
check, the payroll checks and the miscellaneous check, who was the signer of that person?
And what time, when?
The checks,
I'm going to interject because this
Thank
is
you.
not relevant.
Okay.
No, but yes,
Mr. Mariano.
if we don't, no,
Mr.
sorry.
Mariano,
No,
avoid-
sorry,
Mr.
no,
Mariano.
We should have a
separate
meeting for this. No, I'm not going to, because if we let him talk, we need to have the right to respond, because this is bullshit. And I am not going to
Mariano,
approve that.
respectfully,
No,
the
I am not,
inquiry
I'm
as
sorry,
to
I'm not
what-
going to. I'm not going to.
the inquiry as to who was the signature on those checks is not relevant to the agenda item of the budget.
We are allowing a person to misrepresent, to defame us. And I'm not going to allow it unless this guy leaves the room. If not, everything that is being discussed is going to be discussed.
Mariana, are you saying that the checks that were presented to you that there were not checks that were signed by unauthorized persons?
Paul, you found after asking thousands of documents during years, and you were not able to find a thing, either by 2 things, because you don't know what are you looking for, and you don't have the right.
Can you respond
qualification.
specifically, please?
Are you done?
As a fact,
Are you done?
as a fact.
Can I talk? Are you done? Okay, so
Anything
you
that
asked,
involves my money shouldn't be confidential for me, otherwise it
Okay.
shouldn't involve my
so
money.
you asked twice every single record in the association and was not able to find anything. The check you're talking about
Which
is a
check
check,
is this?
wait, it's a 2015 check of $200, there is a payroll payment. and
When's the
associated
15th?
with that.
Excuse me, what,
So,
Let's
so
go, let's-
this situation where Mr. Warren is trying to get the impression that there is no transparency and no control, it's false. And everybody needs to know, because Mr. Warren has been misrepresenting the facts in this association from, I don't know, 10 years ago. Last year, he said that we didn't have $1.4 million in the bank. And this is from a person that get every single record in association twice. So he asked for the bank statements and he cannot read them. So we need to stop this. We need to stop this.
Mariano, give me a chance, please. We need to
Sorry to say it,
continue.
but this is not.
Mariano, I understand you very well because I suffer like you. The only thing is that I have the body, it's más duro. ¿Cómo se dice duro? Más tough, right. Thank you, this is my translation. We need to continue. And we pass now especially in the States, in Miami, and to here that we are sitting in this meeting. It's a big inflation outside. We do our best to do it our best. We sit with me and Mariano and Udi hours to see from where we take out in order to increase only 6-7%. So that's the job impossible for everybody. It's one guy here in the board that he wants about, he sent millions of mails about the famous 718 procedure of prosecute. I don't understand exactly what he wants for us, but at the end, substantive, we need to work and to make this building workable to everybody. We are with our money, and at the time that this board it's our hand, we try to do it our best, and we take care about everyone penny. So if somebody has something to tell us about this, go ahead. If not, we need to continue. At the end, too much time, we cannot continue in that point, because we have only one guy inside that all the times take more than 30 or 40% of the time of the office in papers that are for nothing. So we need
Mr. President, it's a simple question, yes or no, were they checks to the residents, that's all. We are a custodian of the associate of these residents' monies.
Okay.
This is about the
Let's
monies
go.
and payroll.
We need to, I think that it's the time to vote. Christine, sorry.
Okay, so we've had the motion, we've had the second, we're gonna have a vote now on the motion, which is an adoption of the budget with partially funded reserves for the fiscal year commencing on July 1st, 2022. How many people are voting in favor?
In favor.
I'm in favor.
One.
Mariano?
So Raul, Mariano,
Right.
Danny.
Emmanuel?
Are you against?
No, I'm in favor also.
You're in favor, okay, so the motion passes unanimously, okay? Do I have a motion with no other items on the agenda? Do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting this evening?
Make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Okay, Danny,
Second.
do I have a second? All in favor?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Warren, yes?
Yes.
Okay, unanimous.
O sea, como era, uno de